Hey YouTube, today we're going to be looking at a couple end-frame Smith and Wessons. I'm going to do a little comparison here between a 357 Magnum and a 44 Magnum, and Smith and Wesson's largest frame that they had up until the 2000s when they came out with that crazy X frame that they put the 500 Magnum in. So what we're going to be comparing here, we have a Smith & Wesson model 629-3 and chambered in 44 Magnum, and we have a Smith & Wesson model 28-2 chambered in 357 Magnum. And before we go any further, I'm going to show you neither one of these has anything in them. They are not loaded, and we are safe to make a video here. So we'll start off with the 629. This is a 629-3. This is a somewhat of a rare piece. This is a classic hunter. And the difference in this gun and the normal 629s is this does not have the fluted cylinder in it. It's got a non-fluted cylinder, has a full underlug underneath it, and it's only a 6-inch barrel. The normal Smith & Wesson 629s, the common ones of this time era, had a 6.5-inch barrel, and they had like a half-cut lug, sort of like this Model 28 had. It was cut off right here, and it was a 6.5-inch barrel. But this is built on Smith & Wesson's end frame, and for many years, from 1935 up until like the 2000s, this was the largest frame that they made. And I'm going to compare that to the Model 28 here in the same video. If you look here, there's not a large gap between the cylinder and the crane here, because the 44 Magnum was a lot larger caliber than the 357 Magnum. If you open it up, you'll see how large the 44 Magnum is, and if you look down the barrel here, very large. Now, if you look at the Model 28, it's a 357 Magnum, so you see there's a lot of space here taken up. The holes in the cylinder aren't quite as big, and of course, the barrel not quite as big. So if you look at these cylinders side by side, the 44 Magnum is obviously a larger, longer cylinder inside the same size frame, and obviously the holes are going to be larger on the 44 Magnum. But these things are identical size frames in every way. They measure exactly the same. These are both 6-inch guns if you look at them. And if you look at barrels, it's obvious the difference in the 44 Magnum and the 357 Magnum. Now, Smith & Wesson's been making this end frame since 1935. It was originally designed for the registered Magnum, which was eventually became the Model 27, and the Model 27 was a very highly finished, highly polished, very well made 357 Magnum. This particular gun here is a Highway Patrolman, and this was the cheaper model, and it wasn't quite as polished out, and it did not have the serrations on top. 629 has serrations on top. The 629 is a stainless gun. The Model 29 that they came out in 1955 was an actual blued gun, but these frames are exactly the same size, and I was going to show them side by side here. They actually make a large frame 357 Magnum that takes the same frame as the 44 Magnum here. This Model 28, this thing handles recoil very well. There's no way that you'll ever wear this gun out. You can shoot a heavy diet of 357 Magnum every single day, and this gun will handle it. All day, every day, and twice on Sunday. That's what this thing was built for. It's just a workhorse. It was built for law enforcement to carry, hence why it's called the Highway Patrolman. The Model 28s was the Model 27s were a little bit more aimed towards the general public for the high polished blue finishes on them and everything like that. And I'll do a comparison one day with this one and like a regular blued finish Smith and show you the difference in the shine and all that. But I wanted to show a side-by-side here of model 629, which happens to be in stainless, and 44 Magnum, and a model 28 in 357 Magnums. Both of them are end frames. Both of them are very large, very heavy. The only difference in these two guns is this one's 44 Magnum, and this one is going to be 357 Magnum. But if you have any questions on either one of these guns, I have videos on each one of them that goes a little bit more in depth and the history behind them and everything like that. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And if I don't know the answer, I'll surely find it for you. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.